ahead of the curve and get updates on the latest trends in politics, government, policies, education, economy, social development, amongst others.
We're happy to announce today that both the federal government and the organized labor have agreed on an increase on the 62,000 naira minimum wage.
Join
Ayodeji Ajishope
and
Adedamola Lafenwa
on from the Dailies every weekday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Solutions 93.9 FM as they dive into the headlines with in-depth analysis and feedback from you on different stories from the national dailies. Start your day by gaining fresh perspectives, uncovering the story behind the story, and join the conversation. Because your voice matters. From the dailies, the conversation never stops.
It's another beautiful Monday morning in a big and beautiful city of Ibadan. That city some people would love to call the city of the brown roofs. Okay, it's from the Dailies on Solutions and 93.9 FM. My name is Adedamola Lafenwa. This is the program where we get to take you through the front page stories of different newspapers. And I have Comrade Ayodeji Ajishope live in the studio this beautiful Monday morning. Good morning to you, Comrade Ayodeji Ajishope.
Yes, a beautiful Monday morning to you, my dear comrade brother. It's another beautiful one here in this city. Yes, the city of the warlords.
Okay, the PDP convention has come and gone. Umbo. It finally came and it's been done and dusted. And some actions were taken or decisions were taken at that particular convention, which some people have termed to be convention of controversies. Looking at the account of the Vanguard newspaper now, convention of controversies, Al Turaki emerged as PDP national chairman. And the writer's era of impunity in PDP gone, Turaki. To save PDP is to save Nigeria's democracy. Olawipo Ashim. Okay, the decisions were taken. New NWC were inaugurated. A new party chairman came up. A new national secretary came up. And the expulsion of 11 big names of the PDP, which many Nigerians have said, well, that is an action that has been long overdue. We'll talk about that in the course of the program. Looking at the other stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, we have this one saying, Tinubu to appoint ambassador soon. Presidency, one will wonder why it is taking so long for a country as big as Nigeria to appoint ambassadors.
I ruminated over this in the morning, and
it is quite embarrassing.
It left me very unhappy.
Okay. Now, UK to allow Nigerians, other foreign students switch to innovator founder visa. Okay. Electricity workers threaten nationwide shutdown. Rider, Imo transmission incident, a dispute, not abduction. Police. The story is found on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. As bank profits rebound to 2.5 trillion naira, manufacturers shun bank loans over high interest rates. That story is found on page 21 of the Vanguard as well. Negotiation rule. I led 600 bandits to surrender. Gumi. Another one. Why North remains backward despite vast talent. Governor Sani. Moving away from the Vanguard, taking a look at the
when
front
they know
page.
the reasons why, what are they doing about it?
That's a $1 million question. Because they already know what the problem is. But what are they doing?
What's the solution?
Okay. Moving to the Punch newspaper now. Alleged Christian genocide. U.S. Congress begins full-scale probe into Nigeria's killings. And rider, Nigerian church leaders to testify at Congress Thursday.
That's very, very serious.
It's very serious. It is very, very serious. I mean, the U.S. is ready to fly in Nigerian church leaders.
There are many online platforms now that have been tracking this, and they're churning out information.
Gory videos and stuff.
That shows complicity and all of what should not have been.
Let's see where this will lead to. Tinubu PCMS meets Plateau Christian Fulani leaders. Federal workers demand 35,000 naira wage award arrears. Page 8 of the Punch has that story. Obaseki failed. Edo Oshomole replies PDP. Okay, Lagos driver flees with employer's car 4 days after resumption. Pages 4 and 5.
That is apparently premeditated.
A premeditated crime. DR Congo and Nigeria's 2026 World Cup dream. That was a sad one yesterday. That story is found on page 30.
We played below par. You saw
Definitely,
it.
I saw it. Let me take a few more stories now. 2027, Oshun, Imo, Kano lead 2.3 million votes pre-registrations. Page 3 of the Punch. Another one, COP30, COP30, presidency, Obi clash over 423-man Nigerian delegation.
How many?
423 man delegation.
So what are they going to do? In fact, what are we doing in terms of climate change, really? You know,
That we need to go.
You know,
with that
this
huge
conversation was
number of
this conversation too.
contingent.
We heard it in 2023. We didn't hear much of it in 2024. It's back again.
It's back again. Okay. Now, PDP firestorm. Wike camp reject expulsion as 4 states challenge Makinde. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper has that story. And more stories on PDP. PDP's future in doubt after disputed convention returns to Raki, elects NWC. DR Congo ends Nigeria's 2026 World Cup dreams. ASU, Conwa debunk FG's funds paucity claim. Lament work conditions. Another one, Tinubu deploys peace envoy to Plateau as DSS arrests arms dealer. 2026 budget delays spark fiscal spending concern, uncertainty. Akpabio says it's government duty to secure Plateau. Nigeria. Abia Assembly writes Tinubu 6 Kanos unconditional release. That story is found on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. And, okay, let me take one more newspaper now. That is the Platform Times. I have forgiven you, Obasanjo tells Fayose. Why? Nigerian,
I laugh because the moment I saw Fayose visit Obasanjo, I knew there was only one reason. And I knew General Obasanjo was going to attend.
Definitely.
And I also knew General Obasanjo was going to release
some bombshells.
So,
I expected it too.
And some of the words he used, he said, "You and your wife, Shomaluabito, those are
Weighty words.
You are not one of the best of my political children." Those are weighty words.
Weighty words
But
on
he
an occasion
said,
like that.
But you know, it was an opportunity to request. He said, you couldn't come to me direct. You had to go through a sitter.
That's vintage Obasanjo for you there.
Vintage Obasanjo.
Now, more stories on the front page of the Platform Times. Falana asks kidnapped victims to sue FG, demand refund of ransom payment. Nigerian man arrested in US for killing father, stabbing two sisters. Another one, NBA demands full Correctional Service Act implementation. Courts must focus on rehabilitation, not punishment. Traditional courts needed to bridge justice gap. Rural residents struggle to access justice.
On punishment.
Yeah, they are, instead of correcting whatever led them to that crime. Okay, it's still from the Dailies and Solutions and 93.9 FM. Let's go into the stories one after the other, starting with the convention of the PDP, which was held over the weekend, which has been tagged Convention of Controversies. Now, looking at all that played out during the convention and the pronouncement of the suspension of 11 key members of the PDP, we had the likes of Nyesom Wike being expelled, Ayodele Fayose, Senator Sam Anyanwu, Omar Bature, Adeyemi Ajibola SAN. We have Muhammad Abdurrahman, who is the factional chairman, or who has been the factional chairman of the PDP. We have Senator Mao Owagbunwa. We have Honorable Austin Onwachuku, George Chana. We have Chief Dan Obi, and Abraham Aman, all being expelled from the PDP. Let's listen to the pronouncement at the event of the convention.
PDP, power to the people. Thank you. I now put the question on this motion for the expulsion of some officers listed 1 to 11, beginning with Edom Nelson Wike, Ayo Payoshe, Senator Samuel Anyawu, Honorable Umar Bature, Adeyemi Ajibade, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Senator Mao, Honorable Austin Wachuku, Abraham Ama, George Dana, Chief Dan Obi, for the expulsion as per the motion raised ably by our elder statesman, citing our constitutional provisions as enumerated, that is Chief Olabode George, and ably seconded by my chairman, Mrs. Adamu Bunga. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you.
In our Constitution, Section 40, as amended, and are to be bound by its fundamental principles and aspirations as expressed in its Constitution. Mentioned above have committed various breaches of the party's constitution, including support and canvassing for vote for candidates of election, conducting illegal and parallel congresses, sponsoring litigations against the party, most recent of which suit number C ABJ CS 2120 dated 2025 between Honorable Austin Wachuku and others versus INEC and others, seeking to stop the 2025 elective national convention for no just cause, contrary to Article 58, subsection 1 and subsection J of our Constitution. In that case, Senator Samuel Ayahu, Ebu Umar Bature, Kamal Din Adeyemi Ajibade ingloriously supported Wike and others to ensure that the 2025 National Convention did not hold. The party has completely lost its esteem, regard, and respect in the eyes of the public on account of despicable conduct of the former governor of Rivers State and these men he recruited to help him destroy the party, contrary to Articles 58 subsection 1, subsection B, and subsection I of our Constitution. I, Chief Olabode George, hereby move that this convention should expel this person so mentioned above from the People's Democratic Party. I so move.
The voice of Chief Olabode George there, moving the motion for the expulsion of Nyesom Wike, Ayodele Fayose, Sam Anyanwu, and the rest from the PDP. A development or a decision that many Nigerians have said that has been long overdue. You know, I kept on asking what has been the interest of the Nyesom Wike faction, because it was becoming obvious to many Nigerians that this faction or this people or group of people were only aiming to pull down the PDP, because Wike himself has already said it many times that he will be working for Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election. So what can be more anti-party than that?
You see, when I had the expulsion, I was a little bit stunned. And I said, wow, these guys are going for broke. Let's go all the way.
All the way.
And do this surgical operation.
Once and for all.
Once and for all. I said, well, let's see how it plays out. But you see, there's the politics, there's the legality, and all of that. But the people who came to Ibadan, a good number of them, what they represent, but it just represents the spirit behind the formation of the party there, and he spoke from some, high moral grounds and all of that, and I'm sure he's not acting alone. You understand? I can tell you that.
Definitely.
He will have consulted the military brass in the party and some others. So, you will have noticed too that Lamido is not as vicious as the Wike camp. All is just saying he was prevented from collecting party form, and that's what he is talking about. He said because he was prevented, that convention should not go ahead. It's not that PDP must not hold convention. So you understand. So his case is limited. You will see that Ali Babangida was here.
Yeah.
According to reports, let me leave it at that because I didn't see him like this. Now, some of these people represent the leading lights of the original party as it is. I mean, when they started, people are saying that the governor of Oyo State is part of the whole thing. When they started the G5, it was a principled stand. And where that objective was now achieved.
One would have believed that they would have reconciled.
But when the whole thing now stepped up, so much so that Atiku had to leave PDP, people are now saying, is it still the same objective, or the objective has changed? And it is apparently certain that the objective has changed.
Definitely.
To 2027, to re-elect the president. And it will require, castrating, as it were, his own political party.
Causing chaos.
Castrating.
More than the chaos.
When you're castrated, I mean, you are impotent, you can't do jack. So,
which seemed to be the aim of the wiki faction.
yes,
Okay.
because if this legal shenanigans goes on, and let's watch it, because their own grants or in terms of law, you have breached the party constitution, you have breached the Electoral Act, you have even breached the Federal Republic Constitution. You understand? These people that came together, they had to go all the way, to establish themselves as a force within the party. There's no way they want to reconcile the party that they will not be invited as a group. There's no way. They have established themselves fully, especially this governor, or the Oyo State governor. He has elevated himself from being just a governor of Oyo State and from the Southwest geopolitical zone as a player on the national plane. But you are not going to wish away the challenges this will create if it persists. You understand? Until 2027 election. You understand? Because politics ultimately is local. Or you're like it did in 2027, 2023. You play differently at the national level, then you play differently at the local level. Understand? So I know the man has demonstrated some will, political will, and he has a plan.
So, in essence, this expulsion of these members by the PDP was a good step in the right direction.
I mean, that's some perception. The other perception is that it is extreme, just like expressed by the chairman of the convention committee, Fintiri, and Plateau State governor.
I want to read the tweet on the Twitter handle of Amado Fintiri, the governor of Adamawa State.
Yeah.
Now, he wrote this on this Twitter handle. He said, I, Right Honorable Ahmad Amadu Umaru Fintiri, governor of Adamawa State, wish to categorically state that I dissociate myself from the position of expelling the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, from the PDP. I believe that this decision is not in the best interest of the party, and I will not be party to any attempt that could further plunge the PDP into unending crisis. As a faithful party member, my position is clear. I stand for the peace and stability of the PDP, and I will not support anything that could lead to its disintegration. Reading further, he said, I believe that peace and reconciliation are the only ways forward for our great party. I urge all stakeholders to work towards healing the divisions within the party and to strive for unity and cohesion. As a party man, I am committed to supporting efforts that promote peace, stability, and progress within the PDP. Let me reiterate that my position is guided by the desire for peace.
You saw Body George there and what it represents. You saw, if you was truly there, the former governor of Niger State, you understand, Dr. Ali Babangida.
3 governors were visibly absent there.
Oshun,
Taraba, and Rivers State.
Yeah.
I didn't see Fubara there. I didn't see Demola Adeleke there. And I didn't see Taraba State governor there.
Yes, Kefas too.
But they sent delegations. Delegates came from these states.
If delegates came, and there are still arguments about who the delegates were to. But the important thing is that some governors were there, the party chairmen were there, delegates were there, and they represent, and BOT was in support of them. And I heard the PR of the PDP in Oyo State, Michael Ogushina, saying that about maybe 30 or 32 states or chairmen were there. So, can they be ignored? I doubt it. I doubt it.
Now, with this step taken by the PDP, do you feel the Nigerians can take that party more serious now? I mean, knowing that, because we've been saying it on this platform, that if PDP is truly serious, why not get rid of those people? And that's
but everybody knows that there are legal entanglements.
As regards
the future of the PDP. And when we say the future of the PDP, we're talking about the 2027 elections. It might, if that is the objective of a faction, or what do you call them, faction, they might it might happen legally.
But when you talk about legal issue now, some people are still believing that convention that was held in Ibadan was nothing but I want to use Wiki's word. He said it was just a gathering of disco dancers. After responding to his expulsion from the party, that convention is nothing but a
well, he's talking from the legal point of view. Legal point of view as per what the position of the court, you understand? And that unless those things are resolved, they too, even if they have the legal instrument, you understand, that legally their faction, the party belongs to them. They can't, okay, maybe they will just say, okay, they are organizing their own, what do you call it, their convention, elective convention, and elect their own national working committee because they are the ones legally recognized. And then they do and then they make somebody, maybe they even...
What is legally recognized? Which of the powers?
If it ends up that it is the Wiki faction that has legal... Just like the McAfee and, what do you call it? McAfee and the Amadou Sharif contest, you understand? So, if it turns out that it is the Wiki faction that... so what is the objective of the Wiki faction? To make the tough smooth for Tinubu.
But in all these legal tussles, don't you feel the judiciary is causing more chaos or confusion in the Nigerian politics?
Why do you say so?
Because why would there be? It's more like people were just getting the judgment they wanted.
No, I think some of these things were not.
The judges were just dishing out the judgment this particular person wants.
I think the one in Ibadan was not a judgment; it was an order. Ex parte order, and all these things have validity, and you're still going to listen to. That is why they say the law is an ass. You go and argue your case. It's whatever you bring. And the ones in Abuja, the two in Abuja, Lamido case and the Ayahu case, those were judgments. You understand? So we should understand these things for what they are, as in their legal interpretation.
Well, talking about legal interpretation and understanding what they meant, and I saw a particular TV interview with Dr. Sam Amadi, a legal practitioner and director at Abuja School of Social and Political Thought. He tried so much to give a legal interpretation and validity to each of these orders surrounding this PDP convention. Let's take a listen at what he had to say. Being a legal advisor, let's take a listen.
A legal advisor to...
being a legal practitioner rather. Yeah. Okay, let's take a listen.
Look, I think the complication arises from also how the courts have behaved, There are two courts saying different things. When Omotosho gave his, don't go, you can't do this. The court in Oyo State said you can do it, and they're all high courts. It doesn't matter if it's federal or state. And for now, those are valid orders. So whether at the appeal you cancel one and say this is right, wrong, those are for now academic. Yeah. There's no clearance. Nobody has said which is wrong. So in a sense, this convention has legal authorization, because if I recall well, the late decision that came in on Friday was 4. Yeah. Was 4. The last decision was 4. So you can't say it's not legal, because unfortunately we are now where courts are the ones authorizing actions. And that's really the problem with this process all the way. The electoral system is not designed for courts to decide action. Because I've argued this for like 4 years, that INEC's lack of understanding of administrative rules and regulatory process is a problem. Those who decide party leadership, two actors, the party itself, and then the regulator. The court only comes in to review regulatory decisions. So the error, if I was INEC chairman, I would be making a determination of facts. So if A and B file to me, let's say for example the Labour Party, where there are people who say, it's Naradi Usman, it's INEC who should bring the whole facts together. I say, who followed the right procedure? And INEC will make a determination. So it's reversed. INEC people will wait, tie themselves and say they're waiting for court. Court has no business. Court's power of judicial review is to review action by those who are statutory regulator. It's equivalent of a bank.
And not to determine what parties do.
And then you're not going to key in. No. It's the other way around. Judicial review is an attempt by the court to review decision of decision makers. So first, the party is this decider, and they file into the regulator, INEC. INEC reviews the facts, That's why I say INEC is a quasi-judicial institution, because INEC has to establish who is the proper chairman of a party.
The chairman of INEC, presently considered today, is a lawyer.
He's a senior lawyer. Interestingly, many Nigerian senior advocates I've engaged with are a little bit low on understanding administrative procedure. I mean, because we've not done a lot of regulatory work as a country. We are at the elementary level. By the way, NEC, look at the electricity regulation. We just started it. So we don't understand the regulatory law. We don't understand public sector law. So I can speak from somebody who has a PhD in this, and somebody who has had 5 years of extensive work as a regulator. The proper procedure, INEC is a finder of facts. And INEC acts like if it's a court. Because if the law says INEC is a regulator of party, INEC regulates parties. So when you have a problem, first, parties have constitution. INEC guidelines should guide the development of party constitution. That's why INEC regulates. And that's why INEC has not done well. They've not regulated parties. So when the parties elect their people, they fight to INEC. They say, these are our new. So INEC would have had their people on ground, review the document, and say, okay, these guys follow the rules. It's for the court. If you're aggrieved, you go to the court. The court will not say, well, INEC did right or wrong. And that's why typically the judicial approach is to defer to INEC. The courts don't sit and, I mean, the Nigerian judiciary judges lack.
But now INEC is, I'm not cutting you short, you will continue. INEC is deferring to the courts.
INEC would totally, we can't say A or B. So they wait for the last order. Order comes, go. They go to the airport. Order comes, don't go. They return back to their base. That's not how administrative rules as regulatory process are discovered. INEC is the one who acts. When you go to the court will look at the facts and say, we defer to INEC. And what the principle establishes, once INEC acts reasonably, rationally, legally, the court defers to them and says, well, INEC has acted, and I think it's reasonable, so foreclose. So if INEC says it's not you, after due process, then you have to do a lot of work to convince the court that INEC was wrong. So in the sense, we're not in a theater of the unknown or certainty, where lawyers are just run up and down the staircase, collecting order here and there. Wike collects his own because he is entrenched in federal Abuja. The other guy flips to the state where he has control. So all these are induced order. So if you sit back outside this theater of the absurd, you say, what's going on here? These guys are just buying up judgment. Because why should courts find themselves issuing very contradictory decisions on very simple matters? There's a party, there's a chairman, there's a board of BOT. Now, look, the other guys in Ibadan, in my own factual assessment, if I was to decide, they're the better guys. And I tell you why. The BOT that Mwabara chairs has been there for over 3 years. Yeah. Suddenly you construct a new BOT in an office of APC office. Factually, it can't just happen that way. So oftentimes, the facts, the INEC, the courts are not thinking through the courts, the facts. This is a BOT. You have NWC. You have NEC.
Dr. Sam Ahmadi there, a legal practitioner and a director at Abuja School of Social and Political Thought. Trying to analyze and the legality surrounding all these court orders here and there. Yeah. What do you make out of that coming from somebody grounded in that field?
Yes, that is tough. And we may not fully, when I say we, the public may not fully understand his explanations. You and I may be able to follow it. But you see, at the end of the day, the regulator is not regulating. So that's what he's saying. He says, therefore, the judiciary has taken over the job of the regulator.
The regulator is meant to be the INEC.
Yes.
Okay. Which has failed to do its job.
That's what the man is saying.
That's what he said.
So people are now going to, rather than go to INEC, say INEC decide now, this is our own position, this is our own position. INEC is folding his hands.
Making lawyers to run up and down to get orders that they want.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Against INEC, to compel INEC to recognize them. That's what they are trying to say now. You compel INEC not to, or even compel INEC not to recognize them. But let's see how all of this plays out. But it's a clear-cut demarcation now in the party. The Shea Makinde-led group, the Wike-led group, and what else?
Do we still have factions in the PDP today, despite what played out at the convention?
Oh, tendencies. Even within the Ibadan tendency, there are still tendencies, and it's always like that. Even in the other wicked tendencies, are you sure some are not tired? Are you sure some are not say, hey, this party? You know, some will say their names will be listed when the whole story of how the PDP was torn apart is being chronicled.
Now,
And
let's
why
talk.
did
Let's
why
talk
did they
about.
go down that villainous path?
Let's talk about the emergence of Kabiru, Tanimu Turaki, and Taufik Arapaja at the convention.
You know, look at the emergence of Taufik Arakwaja, former member of House of Rep, former deputy governor of Oyo State, and of course former envoy to I think Damascus, and then there's no other way to call it, what I will call a political rehabilitation by the governor of Oyo State of Ambassador, former deputy governor Arakwaja. You understand? You remember the battle for the Southwest chairmanship position? How the governor demonstrated political willpower and muscle. You understand? And got the man there. And from there now, the matter is being escalated to national secretary. That's I think that is that's some journey, and it speaks of the one who is pushing, the man's emergence. I mean, that's an ally. He's pushing his ally, trusted ally. So if you are there, you understand the same scenario. Wike holds the jugular of the secretary. He is holding they don't understand the terrain, and they know which posts are key. In that, if you want to, the man has been around for a while, running for Senate, running for this, running for that, SDP, and I think he has an understanding of the political terrain, the politics of it, and the good thing is that he's not just doing the politics of it; he has done the governance of it too. Because when you do too much politics, governance suffers. But he has done a lot of governance, and I think the man wants to step to the national play.
Definitely. Still from the Dailies and Solutions in 93.9 FM. Moving to another story now. On the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, Tinubu to appoint ambassador soon. No date. After years of not having representatives.
When I heard that story, it's so bad, It's so bad. So bad.
Now, for some of our listeners who do not know the true functions of ambassadors or how important ambassadors are, can you just tell us?
Ambassadors
their roles?
are the representatives of the sovereign, the Nigerian sovereign, in wherever they're posted. And there are some capitals, like Washington, London, the Court of St. James, Germany, key European countries, and of course places like China, where we do a lot of business and a lot of Nigerians reside, and they are important in the global space transactions because they're the ones that represent your economic interest there. Look at what happened, all these genocide things.
Yes, I was going to ask.
If we had an ambassador located in Washington,
what would have been the role of the ambassador in
as that thing was going to develop, because there's always a tab on movements of Nigerians in and out, you understand? Especially, they keep an eye on some people, you understand? And they keep an eye on their movement out of the country. And anywhere they're headed to Washington, they will tip Washington office up, you understand? And they keep track of what they're doing. And before they can you imagine? This full-scale investigation that is starting now. Nigerians are going to be giving evidence on the Capitol. Can you imagine? So how did all of those things move from that location to the current situation? And he will appoint ambassadors soon. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. because that's a lot of.
Some months ago, the federal government said, or the president said that they were yet to appoint ambassadors because of paucity of funds.
They appoint for the major capitals of the world. You understand? Ambassadors are that will look out and look after the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians. And head of chancery and all of that, I mean, they're limited. They're limited. They cannot even attend certain functions, you understand, because of rank. I don't. You see, that was how it took so long, too, to appoint members of the cabinet. He first of all appointed some and then appointed later others, in batches. I mean, that was when people started questioning whether he had prepared for 30 years for that position. Does he think it is not important for us to have ambassadors? That's a questionable one.
Okay. It's from the Dailies and Solutions in 93.9 FM. Let's go on this short commercial break. We'll be right back.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, SEC 0209-462-1168, 0916-772-3240. Announcer, FSRCC.
Great people of Oyo State, the Omoluabis of Jericho Businessmen Club, JBC, invites you to its third annual socio-economic summit with the theme Future Ready Oyo State, Tech, Talent and Transformation for a Thriving Tomorrow.
Join us at the Jericho Businessmen's Club's annual socio-economic summit, a gathering of great minds shaping a future-ready Oyo State, happening live at the International Conference Center, University of Ibadan, on Friday, November 21, 2025.
Let's explore how digital skills and innovation can drive prosperity for our state.
The summit also includes a future-ready youth digital boot camp to equip young people with in-demand tech skills.
Special guest of honor are His Excellency Engineer Sheyi Makinde, Executive Governor of Oyo State, Dr. Bosun Tijani, Federal Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy. The Royal Father of the Day is Imperial Majesty Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja, Arusa 1, Olubadan of Ibadan land.
Attendance is free, so register now at summit.jbcibadan.org.
Jericho Businessmen Club, shaping tomorrow together.
In case you just tuned in here, you're on to Solutions at 939 FM, and the program is from the Dailies, where we get in to take you through the front page stories of different newspapers. Looking at the Punch newspaper now, alleged Christian genocide. U.S. Congress begins full-scale probe into Nigeria's killings. And the writer, Nigerian church leaders to testify at Congress Thursday. Tinubu peace emissary meets Plateau Christian Fulani leaders. Now, let's start with the U.S. Congress going ahead to start a full-scale probe into what they have termed Christian genocide happening in the country.
You see that? I mean, it's not going to go on behind closed doors. And then one report and then things will be faulted. It will be open. Nigerians are going there. They have made allegations. So they're going to be there and open, and they will be questioned, you understand? And they will present evidence, and it will be accepted, and the content of the, it's going to be so open that when the indictment comes, it will be followed by sanctions.
But one would have believed that the Nigerian government would have been able to convince the U.S. government with all the narratives, all the the press conferences, and all those things that have been held in the past few weeks, trying to tell the whole world that nothing of such is happening. But despite all that has been said, U.S. still going ahead.
Damola, what are they saying?
That means, and one will now begin to ask, definitely, probably this, the U.S. must have been...
laid their hands
on some facts.
Damola, I have noticed...
For them not to be backing down on this
It's
issue.
not about backing down or backing up. It's about, they say there are allegations. They have presented preliminary evidence. From the preliminary evidence they presented, some of these groups, American groups, came to Nigeria. In fact, I think one of them was invited by the government and got what amounts to evidence that indicts. So, let's now present evidence, openly, verifiable. That is it. It's a democratic process. That's one of the hallmarks of democracy. Come and present your case. Let's see how it is. And then, you see, the position of government is that people are being killed. You understand? It is not only Christians that are, you have heard that. Christians are being killed. Muslims are being killed by these same people who are killing Christians. But some are asking, I say, okay, they are killing Christians, and then they are killing Muslims too. But people are saying they are only killing Muslims that they think are apostate, that are not pure in their practice of Islam, that they are not killing them because they are Muslims. They are not killing them as Muslims. They are killing them because they are apostate. And they are killing Christians because they are not Muslims. Those are the arguments. And then the Sultan, and then the Islamic something, Professor Murik came out and said all of this. But these people, and I say, who is killing who? Where and why? If you kill 10,000 people in Plateau or Benue, 9,970...
There will be Christians.
But who are the people killing them? And in what circumstances? And people are saying these are Fulani militia, these are Fulani jihadists. You understand? Those are the circumstances that make it look presentable as genocidal.
Okay.
Those are the circumstances. They say as they're killing Christians, they're killing Muslims too. But people are saying the kind of Muslims they're killing are the ones they believe are apostate, are not actually true Muslims. So they must be killed too. You call those people Muslims, the people killing them don't consider them to be Muslims. You understand? So they're the same class as the Christians. So those are the scenario. And that's what people say they should not gloss over. That's what people are saying they should not gloss over.
Okay.
Yeah. So address this as they are, cold facts, so that the appropriate treatment will be applicable. You understand? If in medicine, if diagnosis is not proper,
okay,
what treatment? Ganifawa Emi was misdiagnosed. Look at how the whole thing could have been apprehended quickly.
Okay.
If they had done proper diagnosis. So look at what misdiagnosis. So what they're doing, is either a gloss over or a misdiagnosis. An attempt to gloss over or an outright misdiagnosis.
Now that the U.S. Congress is flying in Nigerian church leaders to testify at the Congress, and we've seen many videos, viral videos of some of Nigerian pastors, even some carrying out mass burials of Christians.
That popular pastor we have seen, that popular face now, is it Benue or Plateau?
Yeah, Benue.
I saw him again yesterday. He was raining curses on people who said are liars, that they say he was standing on particular mass grave, before they poured sand on it, so he was standing on it. They say that we are liars, that those graves are empty. And he rained curses on those who call them curses, and those who call them liars. You understand? This matter, you cannot imagine the kind of testimony they are going to be giving. It's going to be a charged atmosphere, and I don't think Nigeria is going to come out very clean from it.
Okay, now.
But do we have people, lobbyists there? Do we have people covering it? You understand? Are we? So that we quickly respond, not at the presentation of a report.
And now that we don't have ambassadors.
Now that we don't have, so that you will not wait for a presentation of it. You must preempt them and develop your own narrative.
Definitely. Definitely. All right, as we wrap up this story on the front page of, one of the stories in the Vanguard this morning, that's the same young Lieutenant Yerima that got engaged in a scuffle with the FCT minister last week. He's in the news again, but this time not for a good one. It's Lieutenant Yerima escapes assassination attempt in Abuja. Let me try to read the first 3 paragraphs. A young Nigerian Navy officer, Lieutenant A.M. Yerima, who recently had a confrontation with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, reportedly escaped an assassination attempt on Sunday evening. Reading further, military sources told Vanguard that Yerima was trailed by unidentified men dressed in black and riding in 2 unmarked Hilux vans with no number plates. The vehicles allegedly followed him from the NIPCO filling station off Kobo Expressway to Gado Nasco Way. And let me read a little bit further. According to the source, the officer noticed the surveillance and executed a strategic maneuver, successfully evading the suspected assailant. The incident reportedly occurred around 6:30 p.m. yesterday.
Now, you now caption it, he escapes assassination attempt. He noticed 2 vehicles trailing him. And then he executed a strategic maneuver, and then they say that was an assassination attempt.
The military sources telling the Vanguard.
So military sources, all those military sources. I mean, those are not verifiable.
Are those moves not suspicious enough?
Damola, number one.
I'm just asking. I'm not.
2 things. 5th columnists will want to take advantage of this.
Definitely.
And the 5th columnist might be within or without. So people, everything, for some, everything is politics.
When I saw the story this morning, I was like, what came to mind was like, here we go again.
I took it with a pinch of salt.
Here we go again.
Well, now that this story is out, nothing. The military too,
Yes.
must take care of that boy, so that it will not be another pawn in the political chess.
Okay. Thank you very much, Comrade Howard. I just hope that's the much we can take on the program this morning.
Thank you very much. I wish you a most fruitful week.
Wishing you the same too. Okay, that's the wrap for today. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for a fresh edition from the Dailies on Solutions and 93.9 FM. My name is Adi Damola Lafewa. Do have a very fruitful day. Good morning.
The views and opinions expressed in this live broadcast are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the editorial policy of Solutions 93.9 FM.